take a quick little break to stretch the vocal cords and such. So we've got Chaikitty versus Noble Esports TGH with the greatest file name combo of all time, an offer he can't refuse.
Yep. It's a funny story about this. At Laurel Park, you know, it's a horse racing track. And we were all out having dinner yesterday. They were having actually some horse races going on. And one of the horses' names was Offer He Can't Refuse. So Tej and Chai collaborating and putting that together as we get ready to head into the first race here. Here we are back into prologue. And again, you know, just the run-of-the-mill stuff. If you were here for Flad versus M Sushi, then you know you kind of know what the deal is with our prologue section.
Yeah, not a super involved section of gameplay. Just really kind of teaches you the very basic movement of jumping, climbing, and then of course right here, dashing. Which we mentioned this yesterday, but in case you weren't able to catch those races yesterday, a little fun fact is when this game was first released, the cutscene of the little crow teaching you to dash, in order to skip it, you actually had to pause frame perfectly. But so Matt Thorson, in the updates to this game, he's actually done a lot of stuff for speedrunners, like the wall bounce tech. In one of the patches, he actually made it easier, like gave you a bigger frame window to do it. But in that specific cutscene, as soon as he saw people were like trying to skip it frame perfectly, he was like, I'll just make it easy to skip. And so here we are now. Ooh, Chai just taking a fall there instead of a dash to go ahead and get up into that next room of Forsaken City.
Also, Tej is just slamming Madeline all over the place into these walls and just feverishly plowing through the city.
Yeah, just really lighting the movement up.
Yeah, going back to the prologue skip, I think one of the reasons behind it too is like could you imagine if you got that frame perfect trick and you PB'd, and then like all of a sudden you had to that was where you're resetting your run every time.
Yes.
So
jeez.
Yeah, not all that great. Oh, Chai taking another death here, taking another one, not getting his dash back here.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
Tej with some good movement to go ahead and finish out City. He's gonna go ahead and get a 102.
It's a very nice time here. Chai just a little shaken, it looks like. I'm not sure what is going on here. Just a few errors. I'm not sure if it's nerves or just, you know, the bright lights under you getting in. And then right there, too, missing that.
Yet another death. As Tej moves into the old site. And Chaikitty finishing, 18 seconds behind after City.
Yeah,
really unfortunate. So now Tej going to go ahead and activate the mirror to open up all these dream blocks.
So yeah, Chai unfortunately going to have to really dig deep through the rest of this run and hope for Tej to make a mistake here. Of course, we got Bub's drop as one of the things. Demo is another one too. So there's definitely opportunity. We are way early in this race. Anything can happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just when you have that onus put on you so early on in the race, it can be very difficult to maintain any sort of decent mentality to be able to actually pull off that time save that you need.
And then also it puts more pressure on Chai as well, because he's going to have to play near perfect pretty much for the remainder of this run. And now Tej getting into the final room here. Getting those 5 battle ends out to convince you to go home so you don't want to climb this mountain. But Madeline's like, nope, I got the skills to pay the bills. And she's out just like that. Now Chai...
Look at just how fluid Tej's movement is, man.
Yeah, we'll see the movement test here as he comes into Awake. But I mean, so far, everything... Oh, the corner bop, though. Hello.
Yeah, Commentator's Curse really in effect. Just always unfortunate to see those fails.
Now, I mentioned Tej was practicing earlier, and he was playing very well. Going through nice corner bop there and getting the corner boost too. A 145, still very nice time coming out of Old Site. As he gets ready for Golden Ridge. We got to get we got to get to Celestial Resort before we get into Golden Ridge. Hold on.
You got to get to the top of the hotel before you can view the mountaintop. It's nice. Dilapidated. Although, you know, I have to wonder, like, all of these disjointed sections of roof, like, where exactly did they all come from? Because they don't all look completely broken. Like you see all these like hard vertical splits, and you would expect if it was all one terrace or something, it would have gotten just, you know, really, really messy and distorted. So I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of the terracing we see at the beginning is.
I would love to see what the resort actually would look like prior to the decaying and just dishevelness that it's come about. Because I bet you it was a really nice place.
You know, I honestly, I kind of wish something like that would have been in like a Chapter 9 or just like another DLC.
I mean, we never know. It could happen.
It could
Or
be.
even just like concept art too of the resort.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so cool. I keep bringing it up, but like I really feel like this was just straight up the inspiration for Celestial Resort, the Grand Budapest Hotel, like that whole movie. It actually has like a somewhat similar concept of like the owner maintaining it despite like having virtually no business nowadays. Granted, it's not like a dilapidated hotel, but it's in a state of a little bit of disrepair, and it's just I don't know. And there's also like a nice colorful aesthetic in some points of the resort, or at least you can tell that when it was new, it would have been colorful.
So Teach actually having a little bit of hang up here in the opening of Huge Mess, getting caught up in that top left-hand corner, was able to bounce back. But again, those are the types of things that Chai's looking for to get back into this race.
Yep, spike jump is good though. We have seen that mess up some people and lose them a few seconds here and there. 15:08 crates as Chai ends up talking to Oshiro just 2 seconds before, so nearly an entire sub area behind.
All right, Teach now hitting into hooks, getting that ultras there. Some wall bounces. Skating by these dust bunnies. Nice grounded ultras there too. So we've talked about hypers and we've talked about ultras, and then there's these grounded ultras, which basically you're just chaining hypers into the ground over and over again, just kind of like keep that constant speed.
Yeah, because you're able to actually get the dash back very quickly after you reland on the ground. So
Nice corner boost there, skipping all those dust bunnies.
really, really sweet movement from Tej right now.
Getting the fat. Oh, I spoke too soon. I thought he was going to get that. But still, very nice.
And so Tej getting towels done as Chai finishes up with books. So he's going to go ahead and move back through the Huge Mess section, talk to Oshiro, who during this whole time has kept taking credit like, oh, you know, I'm so glad that the resort's finally getting cleaner. And Madeline's just like, welcome. And then now, of course, you know, he's all worried like, oh, I just made my potential tenant clean my own hotel. You know, how can I ever get her to stay here? So now T's just a room or two away from the demo dash. Gonna go ahead and take the checkpoint. Interestingly, how they've actually all seem to have taken the checkpoint for safety there.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, taking that death despite trying to go for the normal cycle instead of the task cycle.
I know during the league, I think Moose SR was one of the few people that was going checkpointless. I know a few people did, but I do remember Moose doing it exclusively.
Yeah, and it's only like a 2-second save or so, but especially like if you're in Chaikitty's position, and I don't think anyone's failed the demo yet in the league, or like at least in these live finals. And so, you know, I certainly feel like, checkpointless wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Both of them in this Oshiro chase though.
I do feel that if someone did go for checkpointless, one, the crowd would be super hyped. And I guess if you really think about it, that could be a nice little mind game. Like, if I was playing against someone, they went checkpointless on me and I was in the lead, I would be like, oh, this guy's not playing around.
Yeah.
They're not playing around. I need to, you know, and that could add unseen pressure onto my own run.
And just like last time, how Vlad was forcing Sushi to play at a maybe more risky level than he would have wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing could certainly happen here, where you're in that lead, but you see someone gaining on your heels, and you feel the need to be even more excessive with your strats, and that can really push you past the breaking point pretty quickly. As Tej now in Golden Ridge and Chai joining him just shortly.
Yeah, Teach not getting his dash back. Oh, not getting his dash back again. You have to slow it down here a little bit. Going for this nice strat there, just skipping a whole good chunk of that breakable wall there. But there's a few mishaps here, you know, saving it, not taking any deaths, but those little things that will quickly add up. Again, that Archie from the crowd.
Yeah, the Archie, just such a neat little trick. The Archie is actually a form of demo, by the way, interestingly enough.
Archie is also the name of a bird. That's where this comes from.
Really?
Yeah, I'm putting myself on the spot here. If I'm not mistaken, it's Phoenix's friend's bird. It's Archie, and then that's how the name came about.
Interesting.
If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, chat. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, crowd, because you guys probably know too, but I believe that's where it came from.
It's really interesting to see the source of a lot of the names in this game, like the Kevin blocks literally come from the Kevin from Power Up Audio that recorded the sound effect.
And actually, with that being said, too, Demo Dash comes from Demo Jameson, who originally discovered that trick.
Which, in case you didn't catch the description either yesterday or earlier today, the way that trick works is, even though it looks like that's a solid wall of dust bunnies, it's not solid at all. It's formed off of like two lumps that are attached to the upper and lower ceiling and floor. And so there's a little gap between there that happens to be the exact height as Madeline's crouched hitbox. And so by dashing while crouching in a pixel-perfect position, you're able to just jump right through without any issue.
Yeah, the gap is 4 pixels, and that's exact. You know, as you mentioned, the exact height is Madeline's crouch. And so if you crouch and dash, and then in I think it's 4 to 6 frames, input another direction, she'll maintain that crouch animation there. So it's a little tight just to perform it. I know a lot of runners actually have a quote-unquote demo button that they have on their either controllers or keyboards, so it's just like automatic. I guess like you'll continuously have it held down. The way that I explain it to people is, if you play like any fighting games, it's doing a 2-in-1. It's like you would press down and like, if you're familiar with Street Fighter 2, I'll just go way back. Ryu had a combo with like a low medium kick into fireball. And so what you do is you press down and medium kick at the same time, and then you do the motion for the fireball, and at the end of that you would press punch to get the fireball. So it's the same thing with Demo Dash. You press down into the dash, and then as soon as you do it, I just do the fireball motion, and I get exactly what I want.
Yeah, and it is possible to do demo dashes in other spots. Demo dash isn't actually like, it's a generic name for that style of trick, but that is the only one that we implement in the run because there's a reliable visual cue for setting it up and for actually executing. So when you see them like grab the wall just beforehand and then like do that leap upwards, them grabbing the wall is them setting up the initial position of Madeline, and when they jump, they're trying to dash at the apex of that jump.
All right, Teach getting set up for Yeet here.
And
it's looking good so far. Yep, we got a Yeet.
We got that first Yeet. Let's see some TGH Yeet and TGH Eat in the chat. Because, I mean, it's never been more relevant.
Now, we did see in MCG versus Flad, Flad did get a 109 tape grab. So, right now, that is the fastest time that we've had at the event. I don't think Teach is going to get it here. It's going to be pretty close, though. Let's see. No, just short. Just short. 110. Still a very, very good time. Chai not getting Yeet, unfortunately, but hitting that normal strat. And now Teach in 5B. And again, the infamous Bubs drop coming into play now.
Yep, just such a brutal trick whenever you fail it. But guys like Teach have had so much experience practicing it that when the timing is still in your head, still accurate in your head, it's really strange to have fails.
And he's going to get it first try.
First try, very nice.
Chai also coming out of 5.8 at 113, so still a very decent time. And again, that was mainly probably just because he didn't get Yeet. So now Teach moving through. He's going to do a nice reverse hyper off that button.
And that reverse hyper off the buttons always looks so cheeky to me because it's like you're not at all using the button for its intended purpose.
Yep, it's like, no, I'm not going to press it.
You're doing a dash on the button. It's just not quite the dash that you're supposed to.
And now Chai getting set up here for his pups drop. He's also going to get it first try too. Keeping his head in the game is Teach now moving through in the mirror.
And in case you missed it earlier, the hardest part about Bub's drop is that you have a 2-frame window to actually do that wall kick or wall bounce.
And I also believe you have 2 frames to let go of jump as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like constant. And it's one of those things where, people are asking, well, how do you do it? And it's really, I can't explain it. It just you have a feel for it.
Yeah, you pretty much would have to watch someone with an input display for it and just mess around with it until you finally figure out how you're supposed to actually physically press those buttons. It's very, very tricky, and unless you have experience with 30 FPS frame perfect tricks, you're not going to be very consistent at it for a while, since this game runs at 60 FPS and you got those two frame windows. I
always get anxious when that first seeker comes at you and you get into this room because I'm like, it's so close. Teach is getting out. He's making good pace so far. Impossible room here.
And Chaikitty going ahead and going for the 2-cycle seeker.
Oh,
or wait.
Did not get the ultra there. He's actually just dashed off of the just dash straight forward from the platform. So really decent time, 2:24. Now Chai entering the gauntlet room here. A little bit of a mix-up there. Seeker was not cooperating, but able to get out. Now Tej in reflection. Of course, we got our nice golden feathers here. And again, Tej is going to have a little bit of advantage in this part because he is playing on controller, so he's going to use his left analog stick to maneuver all the feathers there.
And that's a huge benefit to controller because unlike Madeline's dashing, for instance, the golden feather can use any angle.
Yep.
Whereas you're going to see anyone that plays on keyboard, you're going to see like a wavering motion where they're like rapidly tapping 2 separate keys in order to get a kind of off direction.
And actually, too, with the feathers, if you want to maintain your speed, you can't really, if you move them less than 13 degrees, you'll maintain that speed. But as soon as you start, like you see on Chai's screen, kind of like wavering back and forth, you do lose speed on that. So, again, it's easier on controller to maintain, stay within those angles. All right, so now Tej getting through hollows, going through this main maze portion here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think now the whole route is just top route, if I'm not mistaken. But nope, I take that back. The room where you have to break all those bricks, that's where you go bottom route. And it's weird because it looks like that there isn't anywhere else to go, but there is another room that's there, and that room sucks. I went to go check it out, and I was just like,
that top right room, you can barely see the path to it.
Don't go in there, folks. Trust me. This is way easier than that room.
Nice movement down and into this more like zigzagging type section.
I see we got someone in the crowd whistling along to the song. Very catchy song, too, this one in particular.
Oh, absolutely. And especially like when you just start getting later on in the level and it picks up and stuff.
It's such a good soundtrack. I mean, we've let the viewers know ahead of time, we're probably going to be talking about this music quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's just so good. It's so good.
To use a, I don't know if this analogy is okay to use due to the venue, but we've really beaten that dead horse that the OST is so good.
Oh my god!
But I mean, if you want a copy of it for yourself to listen all the way through, we are giving away copies of the vinyl and cassettes as well as Celestine keys. Just go ahead and sub the GSA, and even if you don't win the giveaway, you're still going to get our quality emotes, like GSA Fire, GSA Hands, GSA GG, lots of good stuff there. So, and of course, like we've said a number of times, for every sub and for every 500 donated bits, we will be adding $2 to the prize pool. So definitely go ahead and get those subs in to enter a giveaway, get your emotes, and get the prize pool even higher for these guys who have just put in so much work. I mean, when you see all of this rapid movement from Teja's side in the battling fight here, and you think back to casually, like, you would maybe get a hit on battling every, like, 15, 20 seconds. They're getting one within every, like, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And that... I was actually talking with Tej before the race. I happened to have seen his Steam window, because we were talking yesterday about how many hours these guys put in. His Steam window said 2,754, but he said that he plays the game a lot outside of Steam, and if he had to estimate, it's probably closer to 3,500 hours.
Jeez, that is a lot of time.
Yeah, but he is also the only person in the world to have a verified 27. Unfortunately, Flattery did get I think it was like a 27.58 or something like that, but it was during a warm-up run for a GSA race, so he wasn't actually recording, unfortunately.
I love this part of this song too. Going back to the music again, because it plays off of, like, I believe it plays off the Reflection song.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. The initial battle and chase section, it's effectively like the B-side of it. Instead of battle and chasing you, you're chasing her.
Yep. It comes full circle.
I'd really love to see like a mini game where it was just battling mode, where like you either go into the Chapter 2 chase sequence and try to chase down Madeline just moving through optimally, or in this section, like you actually try to use Madeline's spawn points and try to hit Madeline's lasers and see how long you can make them fight for longer.
So I do know, because I know that with the variants that we have as an option, when you complete all the seasides, it opens up. Someone did a little bit of digging, and they found that one of the variants that they had an idea for was to actually play as Battling through the game.
I wonder if any of the movement mechanics would have been different.
You know, we're not sure, because I think what happened is someone tried to go for it, and the game crashed after running into the actual Battling in Old Site. So it was, it wasn't ready. But it sounds like that might be an option. Personally, I would be all for that.
Yeah, that'd be super. Even if it was just a skin change, that would be really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, if they were able to like have, two people on the same screen, like appear in game, then you'd have like a visual representation of who's where and doing what. So.
Yeah, true. All
right, so we got Teach getting into Summit. He had a little bit of a hang up there, heading up into.
Wait a minute, we missed it. He actually got a sub 20. Reflection. I can't believe we didn't notice that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, look at the chapter timer. He got a 1958.
Oh. So that's
a sub 20 minute. Like in all 3 of the last races, I think all of the competitors got like 20. I remember there was like a 2013 was I think the best one. Getting sub 20 puts you in very, very decent pace for a
very, very low
good
time.
28.
I mean, like ideally, I think if he had a 1956 or 57, what is it? Well, 8 minutes is going to put him just under 27 or just under 28.
Just under 8 minutes would put him under 27, or put him at 27. Not under. Oh man, he is not a task. Not yet. Yeah. Oh, and unfortunate missing that switch coin.
Yeah, I'm bad at math when it comes to time. I'm trying to figure out what summit time he would need to just get to like a 27:59, or even just a 28.
Well, a 27:59 he would have to get an 8:02 or better.
Okay, so then it's a little out of the realm, because I think the best time is 8:05 that Teach has. It's either 8:05 or 8:06. It's hard. It's around that range, but
Either way, he's shooting
he's on
for a 28
really,
right
really
now.
good
If he gets over a 28 1x, I'm going to be just a wild run.
And coming through this hyper section here.
So much wonderful movement. So when we've talked about the hyper dashing and the extended hypers, where you go from a hyper on the ground into a hyper in the air, you can hyper right out of these dream blocks. And since you have 2 dashes, it's really, really fast to go ahead and hyper out and still have that second dash left over for anything you might need it for. So we refer to these as galaxy hypers, since the dream blocks have just this nice spacey aesthetic to them.
Yep, and that sound effect too. So great. Yeah, just and it kind of just increases in pitch too as the longer that you're in them.
I wonder if you like made a modded map with a just super long dream block, how high it would get in pitch.
I think someone has made a few of those, but I have not checked them out yet.
I feel like for any game that has a custom level or song or whatever maker, any custom maker, people have taken it to the absolute extremes. Like the Guitar Hero 3 custom charts, there are people who have made like hours-long charts that have so many notes they crash the game, just a bunch of absurd stuff.
Jeez.
I think there was one I've seen where somehow they made a chart that actually started just randomly reading memory at one point. Like the notes at a part of the song were random because it was actually just pulling from garbage memory. It was really, really strange.
Ooh, that sounds actually a lot of fun to play. Yeah, with the variants too, since we're going back to that, one of the cool variants that they have is anytime that Madeline is moving, she is invincible. Or not invincible, sorry, invisible. There we go.
A little bit the opposite of invincible.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Now, I wonder why that variant is the one you choose to bring up. I feel like there may be a little bit of bias.
A little leeway into there, because, we do have Odyssey coming up. We have Mario 64 as well. We also have a wonderful showcase of more speedruns going on later.
Yeah, right after the last SM64 run, we'll be having Counter Logic Gaming's ZFG with a better OOT, or as it's been renamed to Faster Quest 100% run, which I am so excited for that. I've been looking forward to it since I've read it was on the schedule. And after that, I believe, is Ninja Gaiden 2, and then following that is a... let's see, is that the Celeste and Visper? Oh, that's the 2-player 1 controller, okay.
For 16 stars. But yeah, tomorrow morning, there will be a Celeste Invisible run
hosted by yours truly,
by
FC
myself,
Racers.
Yeah.
And you were telling me during practice you were actually kind of hoping to potentially PB, right?
The idea is to definitely try and PB. I'm feeling a little less confident after practicing a little bit today, to be honest. But I'm definitely going to, hit the grindstone and just make it work, because I do want to put on a fantastic performance. And also, actually, here's the real interesting part too, is that there's gonna be a little the roles will be reversed, because I will be the one that's running, and I have scheduled to have TGH commentate along with Flare Bear. So
that'll be really, really cool to see.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I ran it for the Flag Festival, and it's really fun. And especially if you've watched the 80%, because my big concern about it is the fact that you can't see Madeline. So, but I can't as well. And so, some people might tune in and be like, I don't understand what's going on. Is this like a picture viewer? Like, what's happening? I don't know how Teach just flew by Madeline right there, but was able to recover.
That was just really, really interesting move. Try climbing up,
getting the key.
It's actually keeping really, really close to Teach at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially with how wild of a run Teach is on.
Yeah, I'm sure that we have like a command in chat to see the schedule for PACE. Again, there's a lot of great
Chai failing to thread that needle, is able to do it the second time around though. Only losing a couple of seconds due to the quick respawn, but it's still not what you want to see. And Chai with those nice door skips.
Teach moving to this downdraft section here, getting close to flag number 20. Nicely done. That Chai entering 3,000. And Teach on the updraft.
Yeah, the way the updraft kind of like simulates anti-gravity almost is just pretty wild.
And I do love that Matt and company are like, okay, so we're gonna make you stay in the air longer, and we're gonna make almost this whole entire section be left to right instead of up and down. Because like downdraft is mainly a grueling vertical climb, and then we get to this updraft portion, and like minus a few screens like this one here, everything is more left to right, and just really relying on the player, just defying gravity and dashing through these sections.
Yeah.
All right, Teach skipping flag number 10.
Not very surprising, ultimately.
But getting flag number 9 again.
Go ahead and skip 8 as well, just way too out of the way.
Right, Teach on the home stretch here. Again, he's on pace for a somewhat low 28. As he jumps into flag number 5 and 4. Those ones are so quick. I actually kind of like that. The uneven rhythm pace of the flags. Sometimes it's a really long distance between them, and sometimes it's just like less than a screen.
Oh yeah, it feels like it certainly feels like an actual like mountain with trail points spread out throughout, and especially like the longer flags toward the end are just really.
Teach blaring to the summit here in the home stretch. Just a couple more dashes. And Teach is going to clock in at a 28-14. We've got Chai now on flag number 6.
Yeah, Chai going to be coming in with a really nice, respectable time as well.
Yeah. Looks to be possibly a 28-40. Barring any mishaps. All right, you skip flag number 3, so this could be a thing. Oh! As really I say that, oh no, commentator curse coming out.
Yes, to whoever is repeatedly remaking this curse, stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, I thought I sent my commentator curse to a different airline or airport.
Well, look, whenever I get home, I have a clairvoyant that I need to have a very serious talk with because it was a waste of money to try to get the anti-curse blessing applied to me. I'm starting to think that maybe supernatural things are a sham, but
it is possible.
Chai with a nice finish there. Player's going to go ahead and shake hands real quick in a show of sportsmanship. And it's just game 1, not even.
It is just game 1. We got 2 more to go.
Nice to see this camaraderie. Both of them kind of
just talking about the runs here and there. Yeah. I mean, looking back on this one, the main thing for Chai was the city. Like that was just like just a bad start, and that happens. It happens in these sorts of situations. I'm pretty sure. I feel like it's already out of his mind. He's ready to just move on to race 2 and see what happens with that. Teach, on the other hand, playing phenomenal, coming into Summit at a sub 20.
I mean, any sort of weird bobbles we were seeing yesterday are just gone.
Yeah,
like a 28-4. That's the best time in the live event so far.
That is the best time. So it's going to be. It's terrifying, quote unquote. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like he just looks like he's really just comfortable. And there were just small movement things here and there that were happening, but overall it was a very solid performance. And it's like I'm interested to see are you going to put in a faster time in this set? Because yesterday he got like the same time twice.
Yeah, I remember that. The
very
28,
consistent.
42 or 48 or something.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like, are you going to keep setting that bar for this 28, what was it, 28-11?
Yeah, 28, 14.
Or 14, yeah. Or are you going to just lower that a little more? I mean, I told him, I told him, I was like, don't kill me and make my heart like pop out of my chest if I see that you're on pace for like world record or something like that, because I'm not trying to go too crazy, but I'll have to go crazy.
When you think about his run though, like you really have to struggle to find those 24 seconds that separate
definitely
his run from that record.
And he only had 2 deaths too. So
Yeah,
2 unintentional deaths. So it's like it's super solid, like just absolutely crazy.
Well, I mean, certainly worth mentioning how Chai was able to really turn around his mentality after those city issues.
Yeah.
Played really strongly throughout Old Site, and especially like through the end game, he was playing at a very nice level. So
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, he was still keeping toe-to-toe with Tej through the different levels. I mean, like 5B, I think there was only a second difference between the two of them just for that chapter. So he was able to get that out of his head. And, you know, City, you know, it has its mishaps. I mean, in a couple of the rooms that he ran into problems with, not getting his dash back and everything else. And I feel that it was just like nerves. Again, first race nerves and just all that stuff. So moving into the second one, I think he's going to be ready to rock and pull forward and just have a phenomenal performance here. But, you know, we'll see it in a few moments here, because it looks like the runners are getting set up again.
yeah, Tej taking the moment to appreciate the nice little ending screen. We don't have it on stream, but basically at the very end of the game, once you've gotten to the summit and you go back down to the boarding house, you bake a pie for all of your friends. And it's supposed to be a strawberry pie. And because in any percent we only get 2 red berries just because they happen to be in the way, you get this effect. So the pie is
super awkward. Just like, well, I mean, you climb the mountain and you try to make a pie, so that's good. But yeah, the story behind it is that Madeline's like, I'm going to make you guys a strawberry pie with all the strawberries that I collected. And it's like, well, there's 175 in the game. Well, okay, technically there's 200 in the game, but we'll talk about those Goldens later. But
yeah, Goldens are
Goldens are an entire thing by itself. But, you know, what are you going to do with 3 strawberries? How, like, what kind of pie are you really making? And it's just a great representation. They're just like, I mean, I guess it's okay. Even the dialogue, too. They actually have, like, a conversation. And they're just like,
yeah, and, like, Theo's, like, gagging almost, I think.
He's like, it's not really that good. And he's like, hey, I tried my best. And I'm like, you did. It's fine.